In a world filled with challenges and distractions, let us turn our hearts and minds to a simple yet profound parable shared by Jesus, illuminating the path of spiritual growth and the essence of true service. The message comes from the book Jesus in the Home from Neio, Lucio, psychographed by the medium Francisco Xavier. Chapter 4: The Lesson of the Seed. Because his listeners were perplexed, Jesus spoke convincingly. It really is very difficult to overcome the troubling cares of human life. Everywhere we look, we see war, misunderstanding, injustice, and suffering. In the temple, the Lord's house, we see the rich displaying pride and vanity, and the poor, hatred and rebelliousness. It is not always possible to have as pure and clean of a heart as might be desired, because we are surrounded by thorns, mire, and serpents. However, the idea of the divine Kindle is just like a tiny grain of wheat. It is nearly imperceptible when it is sown in the ground, and it has to bear detritus and the weight of the soil. Nonetheless, if it does sprout, neither the pressure nor impurities of the soil can stop its progress. It passes up through the dark ground, and although it takes most of its nutrients from it, its drive to seek the light above holds sway. From then on, come rain or shine, day or night, it labors tirelessly to grow, and in its eagerness, it multiplies for the good of all. Disciples who have felt this inner drive, as happens to the grain of wheat, know that long roots hold them to earthly inhibitions. They know that malice and suspicion shadow their footsteps, that pain is a constant threat. Even so, they feel more than anything else the drive to grow spiritually, and they can no longer be held back. On behalf of the general good, they continue to act within the sphere in which they are making their pilgrimage. They no longer encounter irresistible temptations amongst the flowers along the way. The re-encounter with the divinity, whose ere they recognize themselves to be, is their unwavering goal, and they can no longer rest, as if a consuming and flaming light were tormenting their soul. Without even realizing it, they produce the fruits of hope, goodness, love, and salvation because they never look back to count the blessings of which they were the faithful instruments. Seeing the Father is the overriding concern vibrating in the souls of these longing children. The Master didn't say anything for a few moments and then concluded, as a result, even though disciples' feet remain stuck in the mire of the earth, their untiring work for the good, whatever they may be, is the unmistakable mark of their spiritual growth. We can recognize trees by their fruit, and we can identify heaven's workers by the service they render. At this point, Peter interrupted and asked, "Lord, what then would you say about those who understand the sacred principles of charity but do not put them into practice?" Jesus looked pleased and explained, "These, Simon, are seeds that lie dormant in spite of having been sown in the bountiful bosom of the earth. They contain precious qualities of heaven, but they remain useless for a long time. Nevertheless, we may be absolutely certain that downpours and tempests will pass over them and will change their position in the soil, and that they will sprout victorious someday. In our Father's fields, there are millions of such souls awaiting the renewing storms of life, so that they may head toward the glory of the future. Let us help them with love, and in our turn, let us press on with our eyes fixed ahead." Then, while everyone was silent, Jesus blessed the little family group and left. As we reflect on the enduring lesson of the seed, may we be inspired to nurture our spiritual journey, regardless of the obstacles we face. Let us embrace the virtues of hope, goodness, love, and salvation, serving as beacons of light in the lives of others. With our sights set on divine reunification, may we continue our work with unwavering faith and love, ever mindful of the fruits born through steadfast dedication to our heavenly calling. So be it.